Good morning, Union family. I'm honored to speak to you on behalf of the school board and welcome you to the 21-22 school year. I miss celebrating with you in person, but thank you for being flexible, and I hope next year we can be together again. Having school has always been a huge undertaking, and teaching children has always been a task full of challenges. But the last 17 months have been harder than any of us could have imagined. We've all been hoping for that moment when pandemic life just switches off and we can resume our normal challenges. But here we are again, poised on a school year with some uncertainty. And the ills of society have always hindered our noble task of educating children, but today they impact practically every activity that occurs in and out of the classroom. Those routines and structures that we found comforting and useful have had to be altered or canceled, and they've left us with a collective unsettling of our minds. Even as we accept and adjust to these ongoing challenges, I find incredible inspiration from all of you. What each of you do every day is so important to the health and vitality of our students. And society has always placed the burden of an improved humanity on the shoulders of our schools. Our students need to be better readers, better thinkers, better people. But in the midst of a world full of disagreement and uncertainty, you have accomplished that. And when I find myself discouraged by the discourse of our times, I just stop and reflect on what's happening in our schools, and my faith in humanity is restored. A reliable ride, a warm meal, a clean, safe building, knowledge, skills, and a little love and understanding. You provided all of that for our students when they needed it the most. You provided all of that when you had your own needs and challenges as well. And I am in absolute awe of what you have accomplished in the last year. As I look ahead to this year, I'm excited to see how you'll rise above these external hindrances and find ways to reach, engage, and inspire thousands of young minds. On behalf of our kids and families, I thank you from the bottom of my heart, and I wish you a fantastic school year.
Looking out a dirty old main road, down below the cars in the city go rushing by. I sit here alone and I wonder why. Friday night and everyone's moving. I can feel the heat, but it's soothing heading down. I search for the beat in this dirty downtown. The young ones are moving downtown. The young ones are moving. We're the kids in America. We're the kids in America. Everybody live for the music. Go around bright lights. The music gets faster. Look, boy, don't check on your watch. Not another glance. I'm not leaving now, honey, not a chance. Hot shot, give me no problems. Much later, maybe you'll be singing, never mind. You know life is cruel, life is never kind. Hearts don't make a new story. Kind hearts don't grab any glory. We're the kids in America. We're the kids in America. Everybody live for the music around. Outside a new day is dawning. Outside suburbia sprawling everywhere. I don't want to go, baby, north to East California. There's a guy coming along. We're the kids in America. We're the kids in America. Everybody live for the music around. We're the kids.
Miriam is an amazing person. She has worked in this district for many years, and she works with some of our most struggling families. She is diligent, she has a compassion for them, and she is extremely knowledgeable.
Oh, that's really nice.
I think Miriam deserves Support Employee every year, but this year was extremely difficult and extremely hard for lots of reasons, but just being mindful of what people are going through and what they've experienced, and many times it was people that have never experienced homelessness before because of the pandemic and everything that was happening. And I think Miriam was out there day in and day out just trying to find kids, trying to pull them in. If they were virtual kids and they weren't doing any work, she was out there trying to find them, making sure their computers were working. You know, what's wrong? Why aren't you working? Why aren't you doing this? Let's get you back in school. She was out there every day tracking down kids and finding kids, and I think that really goes to show how much Miriam cares about people in general, and especially this population that we work with every day.
I did the home visit to verify residency.
She is so compassionate and so resourceful in finding ways to meet the needs of these families to keep the kids in school, and not only keep them in school, but help them be successful and graduate.
You may need to re-enroll him.
Our unaccompanied youth are a big target that she provides many services for and helps connect them to services in the community, so that once they graduate, they still have some supports to get those kids through college, through their career choices, and help them to be successful. And many of those kids contact her years later and want to tell her thank you.
We get those success stories, and it's so nice to see the amazing impact that they have. And I just can't say enough good things about Miriam. She's so wonderful, and she just really has a way that connects with people. I could not do this job without Miriam there, and I think a lot of people probably feel that way about Miriam, is that they couldn't do their job without Miriam there to support them as well, because she does so much and she's all over the place, and she is such a hard worker, and I just can't imagine where a lot of these kids would be without Miriam there to support them.
¿Y cómo es su apellido?
Miriam has such a positive attitude. I mean, she deals with some very difficult situations. She is always willing to go that extra mile to help them through the difficulties and help service those kids and provide what they need. There's no one with a more positive attitude that addresses their job every day of, I'm here to help kids. That's my job.
She amazes me every day, and I'm so lucky to get to work with her each day.
The 2020-21 Union Teacher of the Year, Rebecca Peterson.
It is such an honor for me to be able to recognize Rebecca Peterson. When you think of Rebecca, the word heart comes to mind. She truly is an individual who teaches with her heart and her soul and invests everything that she has in her students. And what I love about her is that she is one of the most genuine people that you will ever meet. What you see is what you get, and she is there for her students each and every day. She's willing to help them along the way. She's also willing to give them a little tough love when they need that as well. But she truly invests in not just making them competent and math students and also excited about math and STEM education, but she wants them to be competent people, and she's going to work with them on those soft skills that they need in their classroom, with empathy, with kindness, with collaboration and teamwork. She's going to do all of that while she's teaching them math. Yes. Yeah.
I think Rebecca Peterson manifests, exemplifies the Union way, because she chases excellence in everything that she does. She's never satisfied with 88% of her students being successful on the AP exam. She's proud of that, and she'll celebrate that, and then she'll go right to work reflecting on her practice, reflecting on her units, looking at the items that the kids didn't perform as well on, and seeing what can she be the builder of, what kind of learning architect that she can be in order for the students to really master this mathematical concept that they're struggling with. And that's just incredible. She's brilliant. Rebecca Peterson is brilliant, and she could do anything that she wanted to do.
4 minus f of 0.
She is truly genuine, kind, and caring, and that shows through not just in her teaching, but in the connections she makes with kids. And there's never a day that goes by when she shares her blog that she writes to celebrate the one good thing that happens every day. But there's never a loss of opportunities for students who want to come back and thank her.
As much information as she has to share, as much teaching as she has to do to teach our 15 and 16 and 17-year-olds pre-calculus and calculus, she also listens to them. And she doesn't just listen to them about math. Math is her teaching objective, but her heart objective is to get to know her kids and to make them feel like they are individually important to her.
Okay. I got you.
She celebrates the diversity of our school and the diversity of our students, and she's willing to do what she needs to help them develop as individuals, and that's really important. So I can't think of anybody better to represent what Union stands for than Rebecca Peterson.
Ace at all anatomies, a master of dissection, an expert chef who wields an expert knife. Yet still I sense a gremlin in the system of perfection. There clearly are still mysteries to life. It's kingdom, phylum, class, and then it's order, family, genus. It all comes back to me like child's play. Then he leans over my shoulder there in all his long and leanness and cuts my hard-earned knowledge clean away. I try to keep a focused mind and steady hand.
Oh, keep focused, oh, keep steady.
But the rhythm of my heart is like a country western band.
Whoa, whoa.
Oh, biology, what have you done to me? Why can't my grown-up brain control my teenage parts? Oh, biology, why won't you let me be? Why can't you be humane and still our beating hearts before the cutting starts?
Huh, yeah, Ellie, check it. Whoa, man.
And inarticulate, a specimen of truant. And though we're both 16, he's much too young.
Much too young.
My amygdala is fully formed, my frontal lobe is fluent, and pheromones go futzing with my tongue.
To amaze, I'm way impressed, like sweet technique.
Holy cow! I'm like totally, thanks. Good Lord, now can't I even speak? Oh, biology, what have you done to me? My overt cortisol is in a teen cliche. Oh, biology, why won't you set me free? 'Cause I'm not in control when hunger has its say. And hormones have their way. Focus, Blake, focus. Hey, take a look at Ellie Blake. She does this laboratory. Poor Kermit there, he had no chance. That girl is on my nerves today. I better set her straight. It's fun to make a dead frog dance.
I never knew that Ellie Blake was such a science whiz. She's smart, of course, so it makes sense. But something's up with her today, I don't know what it is. She's like on fire, it's so intense.
It's so intense.
It's so intense.
I'm so dense. Oh, biology, what have you done to me? My heart is in a pan, my brain is out to sea. Oh, biology, why won't you let me be? Please help me if you can, please hear my painful plea. Biology, biology, biology. Please set me free. Set me free. Set me free.
Welcome to the 2021-22 school year. As we enter into this new school year, I have a renewed sense of optimism and excitement. I hope you are as eager as I am about greeting returning students and introducing our new students and families to what we proudly call the Union Way, a relentless pursuit of excellence in all that we do. This was certainly played out in more than words last year like never before. The collective work done by you, our teachers, support staff, administration, and board was nothing short of amazing. Back to school means fulfilling our mission as a public school district to educate every child that walks through our doors to the highest level possible. The hard work you do every day to support our students has a profound and a lasting effect on their lives. As diverse as our jobs are here, each of us is an indispensable part of the total educational process. The theme of our kickoff, reaching, engaging, and inspiring, is not only our vision statement of our dynamic strategic plan, but it also speaks to the essence of what we are about in accomplishing our district goal of 100% graduation, college and career ready. We know that if we believe and embrace this for all students, regardless of circumstance or demographics, they will be assured a high quality, more personalized and supportive educational experience. Through a boundless strength, fierce determination, and bold leadership, we are continuing to change our processes, learning delivery systems and programs and structures to ensure student success and foster greater personalization and school engagement. We have and are continuing to prove that when you have a talented staff, a highly committed Board of Education and community, our students can succeed and are treated to a world-class educational experience. Each of us, whether in the classroom, in the warehouse, driving a bus, cleaning our buildings, fixing our buildings, or mowing our grounds, plays a vital role in this organization. You all could be working elsewhere, but you choose to be in public education because you value its importance. It's here, with the proper education and support, our kids will become the citizens of tomorrow who will keep America's democracy alive, address our environmental and social issues, and learn to live peacefully in a world despite our deepest differences. I feel incredibly grateful to work with people like you, those who care immensely about our children and are willing to invest your careers in order for our students to have a better life and be able to make a positive difference in this world. We are now living in perhaps one of the most politically and culturally divided periods of our lives. This is why our work in public education is so critical. Educators like you help students build lives of great purpose and potential by instilling essential knowledge, skills, and character. We must believe in high-quality public education because America's cultural, intellectual, financial, and national security stems from the work we do. Our public schools must continue to be the beacon of hope for America. It still is the one place where students of all religions, ethnicities, socioeconomic status, and ideologies can come together to learn and be enriched by diversity and our deepest differences. As we continue to reach, engage, and inspire, we are dealing with changes that can have a destabilizing impact. Mobility has always been a concern here because our student body is constantly changing. Though some of our schools are stable, others change out more than 39% of their student population over the course of a year, which makes it extremely difficult to maintain continuous academic progress. Our average mobility was almost 23% last school year. Over 1,200 students came from other Oklahoma schools. 412 came from other states, and 50 entered from private schools. And though we welcome them all, repeated moves can have a devastating effect on school performance. And we know that our students are more successful when they stay in union and profit from great teachers and a rigorous curriculum that allow no gaps in learning. That's why we are so eager to expand our community school philosophy and other social, emotional, and academic programs and services in all grades until graduation to maximize impact. Mass migration in our country has triggered demographic shifts, and Union is right in the middle. Over the past year, we enrolled 87 students from other countries throughout the world, which has challenged us to teach English to over 4,009 students who speak 62 different languages at home. While increases in racial diversity can pose new challenges, they also provide us an opportunity to help all of our students accept and appreciate cultural differences and equip our students to succeed in an ever-changing and increasing global society. We are making strides in maximizing student achievement, and our jobs as educators, however, will not be complete until each student is successful. And while it is true that demographic variables are directly linked to student achievement, it is also true that adult variables, including the professional development practices of teachers and the decisions leaders make, can be more important. One of the ways for us to meet this challenge and to improve overall instruction is for more of our staff to become ESL certified. 133 of our certified staff have already obtained this certification from the state. If we are to get serious about meeting the needs of our English language learners while also improving the overall effectiveness of instruction, we need to be growing our number of staff who are ESL certified. Starting this school year, if approved by the State Department of Education using our ESSER funds, we will be offering a one-time $3,000 stipend for certified teachers to obtain ESL certification. For those who have already obtained this certification, don't worry, you will be receiving a stipend as well. The research is very clear. The pedagogy within ESL instruction will enhance learning for all. Our evolving student body continues to also be more diverse each year. And I love our diversity, and I consider it a treasure. The makeup of our families is also interesting and may have implications for how we make connections to parents. The majority of Union students, 51%, live with both parents. This leaves 39% who report living with a single mother and 5% who live with a single father, and more than 800 students who are classified as homeless. A small number of students need even more caring adult attention at school, since 41 of our kids have no adult who takes responsibility for them. And regardless of home circumstances, school must continue to be a safe haven for all students. And it is our responsibility to reach out to parents to help them reinforce a positive message about education. When we have parents working with us, it is a recipe for success. But if we alienate parents, we haven't helped the student at all, and our work becomes more arduous. This is why it is so important for us to engage with our amazing PTA and to seek our increase in our parent engagement at all schools. Another concern is that nationally, the disparity between the haves and the have-nots is increasing. And again, Union is a microcosm of our greater society. We now have 71% of our students who qualify for free and reduced lunches. This growth over the last 10 years has been steady. We are a bimodal community with families who are very affluent to those who are disadvantaged by poverty. And regardless of their circumstances, we want them all, and I mean all, to succeed. Even though how much money a family has should not influence how well a child learns, It is misleading to ignore how poverty can influence learning in school. And unfortunately, poverty continues to be our greatest enemy in Oklahoma, where 2 out of 3 students qualify for free and reduced lunch. Achievement gaps in schools are not so much the fault of failing schools, as much as they are a reflection of the differences in opportunities that children experience. These line graphs show the percentage of regular students who have tested satisfactory on the Oklahoma Core Curriculum Test in grades 3 through 8. Though there are differences between ethnic groups, the real difference comes down to economic opportunity. Regardless of race, educational attainment is a reflection of the opportunities that children have had to be exposed to language, stimulation, and a healthy lifestyle. In both math and reading, the gap that exists is determined by the vestiges of economic opportunity. Over the past few years, we have been fortunate to host a number of educational scholars and prominent school leaders. All have come to witness what a high-performance school district looks like in the face of poverty. The distinguished educational researcher, Dr. Linda Darling Hammond, recently sent a research team to our district to learn more about our success in early childhood and community schools. To say her team was impressed by your collective work and our dynamic strategic plan would be a huge understatement. In addition, Mr. David Kirt, author of Improbable Scholars and columnist for the New York Times, has written extensively about our strategic plan in his new upcoming book called Greater Expectations. This book features 3 public schools in America that are disrupting traditional education, and Union is fortunate to be one of those 3 schools that will be featured. This is indeed a testament to the collective work you are doing on behalf of our students, our families, and community. And clearly, we have an unabashed willingness to defy the conviction that high poverty results in poor academic performance. And as we prepare to return to a more normal school year, we will continue to focus on year 4 of our 5-year strategic plan. Union's learning model, Learning the Union Way, along with our core values, will serve to guide our work around literacy, cognitive capacity, engagement, and social and emotional learning. And our community schools is working to bring in community and agency partners to our lower socioeconomic level students to provide greater equity. The Community Health Connections Clinic at Ochoa and the clinic at Rosa Parks have been an overwhelming success. This past school year, despite the pandemic, they saw just over 45,000 patients. The clinic is obviously meeting a real need for quality health care within our district and the greater Tulsa community. And we want all of our students to have the advantages of a fair and level playing field so they can all take advantage of good teaching and learning opportunities. This is why we expect our schools to become community schools in the future as we identify more partners to help us close the gap of economic inequity while we work on the academics. This school year will provide a great opportunity for us to reconnect and to form new partners as we seek to grow our community school philosophy. I think most of you would agree with me that this past school year has been one of the most challenging school years ever. But despite its many challenges, I think we also learned some things that I believe we can capitalize on in order to maximize student learning, increase student, parent, and community engagement, and increase our operational efficiencies. I believe our current dynamic strategic plan served us well as we navigated through uncharted waters due to the global pandemic. And I cannot tell you how impressed I was with your collective ability to adapt throughout the school year. And while not perfect, we made the best of it. And for that, our students, our staff, our families, and our community benefited. Our community and many of our colleagues from across the state and nation stood in amazement in what we accomplished. This year's theme of reaching, engaging, and inspiring was indeed playing out right before our eyes. Our long-term commitment to continuous school and organizational improvement is among the reasons why Union is one of the premier districts in the nation. Academically, we continue to trend in the right direction as evidenced by our 3-year graduation rate of 90%. This is remarkable. We also saw 14 of our students recognized as commended or National Merit Scholars. And for the 9th consecutive year, Union Public Schools was recognized by the Oklahoma State Regents for Higher Education as the Oklahoma's Promise Class 6A champion for having 167 students from the class of 2020 qualify for the Oklahoma's Promise Scholarship. And in terms of preparing our students for the rigors of college, this past school year, we celebrated 28 of our early college high school students, the majority of them first-generation college students, earning an associate's degree along with their high school diploma. This pilot program, in partnership with Tulsa Community College, will now be expanded within the Tulsa community to give more of our underrepresented, underserved, and first-generation college students a chance to becoming college graduates. This is why we do what we do. Staying relevant, innovative, and true to our college and career-ready goal, Union's Career Connect program, another innovative program created by Union, has garnered 758 nationally recognized certifications for 316 students in fields which include, but are not limited to, manufacturing, information technology, culinary, early childhood education, law enforcement, and construction. And under the direction of Charlie Bushyhead and Dr. Josh Robinson, our Construction Academy program will now be expanding from the Freshman Academy to our high school in order to offer more opportunities for our students. 75% of the public does not have children in public schools. It is therefore critical that we work to reconnect the public to our schools and to invite them to partner with us. Our Education Foundation, under the leadership of Shay Ludwig, is doing an amazing job. But I want to challenge us to also bring our PTA memberships up to a record level this school year. What a great testament this would be for our students and staff, as our PTA is the booster club of our students, our teachers, and classroom. They too are an amazing group, and I want them to see firsthand how appreciative we are of them in all that they do for us. We must continue to foster partnerships and grow the public's understanding of what we do. It is up to us, through our excellent work and innovative programs, that we convince the public that supporting and partnering with us is important stuff, as we know it is a moral imperative to our nation's success. I like to think that we exist to serve, and I say this often in public. I also think that we exist to inspire. Public education can be the greatest equalizer if our students are provided with a quality learning experience. And vital to this experience is a feeling of worth and inspiration. And even though we have dramatically changed in our demographics, we have proven that one's demographics in life does not have to determine one's destiny. Poverty is not necessarily the absence of money. It is the absence of hope. This is why we have invested in a Department of Hope, Guidance, and Social Emotional Learning. We have also partnered with Dr. Chan Hellman from OU to assist us in becoming a hope-centered institution. Hope is not necessarily a core subject area, but it is at the core of every subject. Early research in this field is showing much promise, and that is why we are striving to capitalize on its potential for our students. Hope is indeed a science, and learning is a complex process, and it is also highly diverse, dynamic, and distinct. Thus, balancing the cognitive and the affective domains are essential to maximizing learning. And speaking of inspiration, we are eager to learn what our new mascot will be at some point this school year. Chris Payne, Union's Chief Communications Officer, is leading this process and is doing a great job in managing the variety, and I mean variety, of recommendations that have been presented. Thankfully, we are utilizing a very robust computer program that is analyzing the thousands of responses that we have received, and it will eventually provide us with a more narrow field of recommendations to consider. Stay tuned. Phase 1 of our stadium renovation will also be completed soon. At least I hope so, as we finally get to put our fans back on the home side of the stadium and witness what should be an outstanding football season. We are also equally excited about the construction of our new fine arts facility that will close out the completion of this project next August of 2022. Our incredible band staff and program, under the direction of Charles Pissarro, is growing and preparing for another great marching season, and will be representing us nationally this year at the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade in New York City. And I would like to take a moment to thank our Board of Education for the work they do. I hope you were as inspired by their approval of a 5% challenging year stipend, along with a 5% retention stipend and a 2% raise this past year. They greatly value each of you and the collective work we are doing. They are indeed a very committed board. And I continue to be inspired by the work of our Diversity, our Equity and Inclusion Council, as they seek to advise ways for us to support a healthy and diverse culture. And I am also grateful for the work of the Superintendent Student Advisory Council. These students have made some excellent recommendations to enhance a better learning experience for all. And speaking of excellence, congratulations to our Support Employee of the Year, Miriam Palayo, and our Teacher of the Year, Rebecca Peterson. Both of these employees are inspiring and exemplify the unwavering commitment and pride represented within our 2,000-member employee family. We are living in a complicated time for public schools. People question everything, and I mean everything that we do. We are under a microscope. But let's be very clear. The only institution that has ever proven to make our communities and our families strong is public schools. One of the perils of traditional education is the notion that one size fits all. At Union, we are proving that there are many pathways to achieving academic success, and that is what is distinguishing us and allowing us to stay relevant for our students. Our pursuit of excellence at Union is never ending, and our commitment and aim must remain high. For many of us, including myself, we would not be where we are today without the transformative power of public education. Much like this broken vase, too many of our students today don't get to fully experience this transformative power because they are viewed as either too broken, either by themselves or others. The reality is, all of us are broken in some fashion. Imperfect people living in an imperfect world. We can't give up on ourselves, and we certainly cannot give up on our students, and nor would we want to. When we all look into the sky, regardless of where we live, it is the same sky. But the difference for us all rests within the conditions that surround us. These conditions can serve to influence our lives in many ways. They can serve to enhance our lives our dreams, our aspirations, or serve to impair them. The Japanese culture offers up an inspiration for us all, particularly in how we need to view all of the students that fall under our care. The ancient art of kintsugi teaches us that broken objects are not something to hide, but are something to display with pride. When a precious vase falls and breaks into 1,000 pieces, most of us tend to devalue it and even throw it away angrily and regretfully. Yet, there is an alternative. In kintsugi, precious metals are used to bring together the pieces of broken pottery. By joining these fragments together with precious metals, it not only repairs the item, but adds value to it. Most importantly, it gives the piece a new lease on life that provides even more distinction and worth. Figuratively speaking, each of you represent that precious metal, whereby you step in to close and repair the brokenness, whether it be academically, socially, or emotionally, for our students, and provide them with a renewed sense of hope, confidence, and a renewed lease on life. In more ways than you will ever know, your ability to reach, engage, and then inspire your students could make all the difference. As former First Lady, Lady Bird Johnson once shared, children are likely to live up to what you believe of them. Let us continue to believe great things of each of them, for they indeed are worthy. I wish you all a great school year.
This job involves so much more than just teaching. You have to think about the whole kid, not just the curriculum you're teaching to them. How you interact with them and engage with them and your relationship with them is key to everything, and then the rest will fall into place.
They're more engaged when they're doing something they want to do rather than something they have to do. And you can still get your basics done. They still have to measure things, they still have to cut things, they still have to put it together and have a plan on how to do it. They just get to do it for something that they're interested in rather than something that you make them do.
You always have to reach the heart before you can reach the mind and the brain and be able to teach them things. They have to know that you care about them and that you love them and that they're safe here. All that social emotional growth helps with the academics because then they are gonna wanna listen to you more when you're teaching. They're gonna wanna pay attention more when they know that you care about them and you have a relationship with them, and that really, really helps.
For parents, I am a lot of times the first point of contact. How grateful they are to be able to speak with someone that can listen to them and understand what they're saying, and then just understand your situation overall. So I am really grateful to be here for that, since I feel helpful, and I like that.
I'm passionate about students making their reading level goals by the end of the year. I'm going to cheer them on, I'm going to celebrate them, but when I see them in the grocery store over the summer and they run up to me and I see the light in their eyes and I know that, wow, they look at me as someone who made a difference in their life, that's where all of my passion comes from. We're going to make mistakes, we're going to hit roadblocks, we're going to have challenging students that make us throw our hands in the air, but we are also going to succeed because we have resilience, we have dedication, and we have passion for what we do.
Keep plugging away, keep working hard, and realize that we're all in this together, and it's just going to keep getting better and better. I don't see that there's anything that can keep us from being successful in what we do.
If we were able to live through this year, we are able to do anything.
Give yourself grace and just do the best that you can.
I'm very encouraged for these kids moving forward.
It's going to be a wonderful year. It's going to be awesome. So get excited, and get excited for your kids.